The world is ruled by those who understand power, those who manipulate circumstances and minds to shape their destiny. This speech will transform your thinking into something more powerful than just ambition. It will make you a mentality monster, one who knows the rules, who plays the game with precision and cunning. You see, Machiavelli's teachings are not about being a tyrant. They are about mastering the art of influence and control. It's about knowing when to act, when to stay silent, when to move strategically, and when to seize the moment. The key is understanding that in this world, it's not enough to be good, to play fair, to act with kindness, because power does not respect virtue. It respects strength, decisiveness, and the ability to turn every situation in your favor. No one who achieves greatness does so by being nice. They do it by using the rules of power, the rules that Machiavelli laid out long ago. It's not just about the choices you make, but how you make them, about thinking 2 steps ahead, about knowing your enemy better than they know themselves, and turning their moves into your advantage. In this world, weakness is exploited, kindness is misunderstood, and those who wait too long to act lose. So, what does it mean to become a mentality monster? It means shedding your doubts, your fears, your hesitation, and embracing the cold, calculated mindset of the master strategist. You will no longer act from a place of fear or desperation, but from a place of power, influence, and control. When you apply these principles, you become unstoppable, because in the end, power isn't given, it's taken. So listen closely, apply these teachings, and watch how your life transforms as you turn yourself into the mentality monster you were always meant to be. To dominate the game, you must become its creator, not its follower. The world is full of those who sit on the sidelines, too afraid to make their move, waiting for the perfect opportunity. But the truth is, those who wait never win. The game doesn't wait for anyone. To shape your destiny, you must act swiftly, decisively, and unapologetically. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone he knew, that true power is in the hands of those who are willing to take risks, to break the rules, and to seize what they want with relentless determination. Those who hesitate, who question their every move, will forever remain in the shadows of those who dare to act without fear. It's not about what others think of you, it's about what you think of yourself. Do you have the courage to walk this path? To take the road that is filled with resistance? To carve your own way through the jungle of mediocrity? Machiavelli's philosophy is ruthless, yes, but it is also the truth. Power is not given to the weak or the passive. It is given to those who demand it, who take it for themselves. If you wish to rise, if you wish to be more than just another face in the crowd, you must harness this mindset. Forget kindness, forget doing what's expected, forget playing it safe. Power is the art of controlling the narrative. You must manipulate not just others, but your own thoughts, your own impulses, your own fears. To become a mentality monster, you must silence doubt, drown out the voices of the cautious, and trust only in your own ability to move mountains. You must use every tool at your disposal, every advantage, no matter how small, to create a world where only you stand at the top. The true master doesn't just play the game, they control it. They make the rules, and when necessary, they break them. The weakness of others is your opportunity. Every person around you, every situation, every failure is simply a stepping stone on your path to ultimate control. You must understand this. Those who have power, those who rule, don't do so because they're the most talented or the most virtuous, but because they are the most willing to sacrifice, to plot, and to act with cold precision. The world may call it ruthless, they may call it immoral, but in reality, it's simply the truth. Power doesn't care about right or wrong, it cares only about who controls it. To achieve greatness, you must shed your inhibitions, your moral hesitations, and understand that power is the only currency that matters. Once you understand this, once you fully embrace this mentality, you will become a force of nature, a mentality monster who can bend any situation to your will, who can manipulate every moment for your benefit, and who can shape your world as you see fit. This is not a life for the faint-hearted, but for those who are ready to claim their birthright of dominance. When you start living by these principles, your enemies will tremble, your allies will follow, and the world will bow to your will. The journey to becoming a mentality monster is not for those seeking comfort or safety. It is for the bold, the relentless, and the sharp-minded. You must train your mind to see beyond the surface, to understand the motives of others, and to act without hesitation when opportunity knocks. Machiavelli didn't just teach us to play the game. He taught us to master it, to craft the rules to suit our desires, and to recognize that the true power lies in knowing when to act, when to wait, and when to strike with full force. In this world, those who are too polite, too humble, too kind, are often overlooked or trampled upon. The world doesn't reward niceness, it rewards strength. It rewards decisiveness. It rewards those who can turn every situation into an advantage. To be a mentality monster, you must learn to see situations for what they truly are, not as they appear. Most people are blind to the opportunities around them. They are caught up in the illusions of society, of morality, of right and wrong. But true power doesn't care about such concepts. It cares about results, about who wins and who loses. So ask yourself, are you ready to play the game? Are you ready to leave behind the comfortable life of mediocrity and step into a realm where only the strongest survive? To become a mentality monster is to become untouchable. It is to step out of the realm of the ordinary and into the world of the extraordinary. When you begin to adopt the Machiavellian mindset, you stop seeing others as competition, and you start seeing them as pawns on the chessboard of your life. Every move they make, every decision they take, becomes an opportunity for you to gain more control, more power. Do you understand the weight of this? That every moment, every decision, is a chance to gain an advantage? The world is full of distractions, but a mentality monster doesn't fall prey to them. You must stay focused, stay sharp, and always be thinking one step ahead. The successful are not those who are the most talented, but those who can adapt, who can learn, who can rise above every challenge, and see every obstacle as an opportunity to strengthen their resolve. It's not about being liked, it's about being respected. It's not about being good, it's about being effective. The world doesn't care about your feelings. It only cares about your ability to take action and create results. And when you learn to think like a mentality monster, you will understand that everything around you is a resource to be used, a tool to be wielded. People are not your friends. They are your allies, and they serve you until they no longer do. Your goal is not to please everyone, but to rise above them all. When you reach this level, you become a force of nature, a presence that cannot be ignored. Your every word, your every move, is calculated to command respect and demand attention. You will have no time for weakness, no time for hesitation, no time for doubt. You will move through the world like a lion through a field, knowing that everything you touch will turn to your advantage. To become a mentality monster is to master the art of manipulation, not just of others, but of yourself. It is to shape your mind into something ruthless, unstoppable, and fiercely strategic. It is to understand that life is a battlefield, and you must be prepared to fight with everything you have, to take what is yours and leave nothing behind. It is to create a version of yourself that is untouchable, powerful, and in control. When you embody this mindset, you stop being a spectator of your own life and start becoming the creator of your destiny. The road to power is not easy, and it is certainly not pleasant. But it is the road that the few, the strong, the mentality monsters walk, and when you walk it, you will realize that there is nothing you cannot achieve. The world will bend to your will, because you have learned to become the one who controls it. You will not wait for opportunities, you will create them. You will not follow others, you will lead. And in the end, you will be the one standing at the top, while others wonder how you did it. As you continue down this path, remember that the true strength of a mentality monster isn't in the loudest actions, but in the quiet, deliberate moves that others never see coming. The most dangerous players in the game don't announce their intentions, they execute them with cold precision. To be a mentality monster is to be unpredictable, to make your moves so calculated and so subtle that your enemies are left scrambling in confusion, while you sit comfortably at the top, untouched by their futile attempts to keep up. You must understand that in this world, you're not just trying to outsmart others, you're outsmarting your own doubts, fears, and weaknesses. Most people never rise above their own limitations because they spend their lives looking outward, trying to conquer the world. But the true conqueror starts within, honing their mind, their instincts, their sense of purpose. A mentality monster is someone who can look at their own flaws and weaknesses and use them to their advantage. It's not about being perfect, it's about being adaptable. It's about being adaptable. The world around you is constantly changing, and only those who can adapt to its shifting tides can stay ahead. Sticking to the old ways, to the familiar paths, will only lead you to mediocrity. The mentality monster understands this truth at its core. It knows that success does not belong to the rigid, the unchanging, or the inflexible. Success belongs to those who can bend without breaking, who can adjust their approach when things aren't going as planned, and who can turn every obstacle into an opportunity. The true power lies in your ability to pivot, to shift direction when necessary, without losing sight of your ultimate goal. If you are too rigid in your thinking, too fixed in your ways, you will fall behind. The world rewards flexibility, the ability to look at a situation, see the potential for change, and then make it happen. A mentality monster doesn't fear change, they embrace it, because they know that change is just another tool in their arsenal. They don't resist the flow of life. They go with it, using every twist and turn to their advantage. In a world full of uncertainty, those who adapt will thrive. The strongest and most powerful people aren't the ones who know everything, but the ones who can learn fast, who can reinvent themselves when the world demands it. The mentality monster doesn't stay stuck in the past. They look ahead, they assess the current landscape, and they act accordingly. They know that the key to survival and success is the ability to change when the circumstances demand it. Think about the most successful people, the most powerful figures in history. They didn't get to where they are by clinging to outdated strategies. They adapted. They evolved. They became what the world needed them to be at every stage of their journey. This is the mindset that the mentality monster adopts. I am not defined by what I've done, but by what I can do next. The world will throw challenges your way. It will try to knock you down, to test your resolve. But if you are adaptable, you will always find a way to rise again, stronger and more prepared than before. The ability to adapt also means that you are always learning. The mentality monster is never complacent. They seek knowledge. They understand the value of staying informed, and they never stop growing. To be adaptable, you must be willing to step out of your comfort zone, to challenge yourself, and to be open to new perspectives. It's about knowing when to change your approach, when to try something new, and when to push through the discomfort to reach the next level. This adaptability is the cornerstone of true power. Because while others are stuck in their ways, unable to adjust, you will be moving forward, staying ahead of the curve. You won't be confined by limitations, because you understand that there is always a way forward if you are willing to find it. You won't be afraid of change, because you know that every shift brings new opportunities to exploit. So, to become a mentality monster, you must first embrace the idea that you are never finished growing. The moment you stop adapting, stop evolving, is the moment you begin to lose your edge. You must remain in a constant state of readiness, always prepared to pivot, to shift your course, to change your strategy. And when you do, you will become a force of nature, one who is impossible to defeat, because you have mastered the art of adaptation. Adaptability is not just a survival skill, it is a weapon. It is the ultimate power that allows you to navigate the chaos of life and come out on top every single time. While others may be blindsided by unexpected changes, you will be the one orchestrating those changes to your advantage. You won't be trapped by your circumstance. You'll bend those circumstances to fit your vision. This is where true power lies, in your ability to control your own evolution. The world will always throw challenges your way. Those who remain rigid and stuck will be crushed by the weight of it all. But those who are adaptable will glide through the chaos, evolving with it, and coming out stronger, more powerful, and more in control than ever before. When you learn to adapt, you become unpredictable. People won't know what to expect from you, and that unpredictability becomes one of your greatest strengths. You can't be controlled by others when you're always several steps ahead, when your next move is always shifting, when you're constantly learning and adjusting to stay ahead of the game. The mentality monster thrives on this unpredictability. It keeps others on edge, forces them to constantly second-guess their own moves, while you remain calm, cool, and calculated, executing your plan with the precision of a master. But the power of adaptability goes even deeper. It is not just about changing your approach, it is about changing your mindset. Most people are trapped by their own thinking, stuck in outdated beliefs and fears that hold you back from your true potential, from embracing new possibilities, and from breaking through the barriers that keep you confined. These beliefs are like chains that bind your mind, preventing you from moving forward. They are the whispers in your head that tell you what you can't do, that you're not good enough, or that you're too old, too young, too inexperienced, or too flawed to succeed. These fears and limiting beliefs create self-doubt, and in turn, they breed hesitation. And hesitation is the greatest enemy of progress. But what if you could silence these doubts? What if you could rewrite the narrative that has been fed to you over the years? What if you could stop believing in the limitations others have imposed on you, or even the ones you've imposed on yourself? The mentality monster understands that these beliefs are nothing but illusions. They are traps designed to keep you small, to keep you in a state of comfort and safety, where growth is impossible. To break free from these chains, you must first recognize them. You must acknowledge the beliefs that are holding you back, the fears that are keeping you stuck in place. These might not be obvious, and sometimes they can even be disguised as caution or wisdom, but deep down, they are fear-based limitations. The moment you recognize these beliefs for what they truly are, false, limiting, and outdated, you can begin to let them go. The mentality monster is not afraid to confront these beliefs head-on. Instead of letting fear control them, they use it as fuel. They know that growth lies on the other side of fear. They understand that in order to move forward, they must challenge the beliefs that no longer serve them. It's not about removing fear entirely, it's about transforming it into power, using it as motivation to break through and rise to new heights. When you shed these outdated beliefs and fears, you are free to grow, to adapt, and to embrace new opportunities without hesitation. You stop limiting yourself by what you think you are capable of and start unlocking doors to new dimensions of success. You start believing that there are no boundaries to what you can achieve, and that the only limits are those you place on yourself. The mentality monster operates without these self-imposed limitations, because they know the world is full of infinite possibilities, and they are ready to seize them. By releasing these old fears and beliefs, you reclaim control over your mind, your actions, and your destiny. You become unstoppable because you no longer live in fear of the unknown. You welcome uncertainty because you know it's the playground where true growth happens. So, embrace the discomfort of breaking free from outdated beliefs. Challenge every fear that tries to hold you back, and transform them into the driving force that propels you forward. Once you free yourself from the shackles of these old ideas, you will find that you are capable of achieving anything. The world will open up to you in ways you never thought possible, and you will walk forward as the mentality monster you were always meant to be. When you begin to shed these outdated beliefs, you will realize how much of your potential has been suppressed, how much power you've been holding back because you were too afraid to break free from the comfort zone of those limiting ideas. Every fear you've held onto, every negative belief, was a lie, a barrier created to keep you small and manageable. But once you start dismantling these barriers, you'll discover a version of yourself that is limitless, unafraid, and ready to conquer everything in its path. The mentality monster knows that life is not about playing it safe. It's about pushing boundaries, going beyond what's familiar, and challenging the status quo. The only way to rise above is to stop being afraid of failure, to stop fearing judgment, to stop fearing the unknown. Fear will always be there, but the mentality monster uses it as an ally, not a master. It understands that failure is just a stepping stone, not an end. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning from them, adapting, and growing stronger with each one. Imagine the immense power that comes from no longer being held back by self-doubt. Imagine what you could accomplish if you freed yourself from the fear of what others think or the belief that you don't have what it takes. Most people live their entire lives within these limits, wondering what could have been if they had just taken the leap, if they had just believed in themselves. But you, as the mentality monster, know that the only thing standing between you and your success is you, your old beliefs, your fear, your hesitation. The world isn't waiting for you to feel comfortable. It's waiting for you to act. When you free yourself from these outdated beliefs, you'll become a force that cannot be ignored. The fear that once held you back will transform into the fire that propels you forward. You will begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You will begin to take risks, not because you're reckless, but because you know that true growth only happens outside your comfort zone. Now, imagine how much energy you've wasted in the past, worrying about whether you were good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. Those fears drained your strength, your confidence, and your time. Every moment spent in fear was a moment you could have spent advancing, learning, and evolving. But as you let go of these outdated beliefs, you free up that energy. It's no longer wasted on doubt, it's focused on growth, on action, on becoming the best version of yourself. The mentality monster doesn't look back, doesn't dwell on past mistakes, or the old beliefs that once shaped them. They have no room for regret, because they know that every step, every misstep, was part of their evolution. They understand that the past does not define them, only their actions and mindset in the present will. By letting go of old fears and beliefs, they take control of their destiny, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to become stronger, smarter, and more powerful than before. The beauty of breaking free from outdated beliefs is that it doesn't just change your approach to success, that changes your whole perspective on life. You begin to see life not as a series of obstacles to overcome, but as a game to be played, a game in which you make the rules. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstance and start seeing yourself as the architect of your future. You are no longer at the mercy of your fears, you are the one who creates your own fate. Once you master this ability to break free from the chains of outdated beliefs and fears, you'll realize that you hold the power to shape every aspect of your life. You can rewrite your story. You can decide your next move. You can achieve greatness because you no longer believe in the limitations that once held you back. The mentality monster does not accept mediocrity, they demand excellence. They do not wait for things to happen, they make them happen. And as you continue to shed these old beliefs, you will watch in awe as your life transforms. Your mindset will shift from one of limitation to one of boundless potential. The roadblocks that once seemed insurmountable will seem small in comparison to the immense strength and power you now have within you. The fear that once paralyzed you will now fuel your ambition, pushing you to take action, to achieve, to dominate. So, take that first step. Begin today by recognizing the outdated beliefs and fears that have kept you stuck. Challenge them, question them, and then break free from them. Embrace the mentality monster within you, the one who understands that growth is not about perfection, but about embracing the process, adapting to change, and continuously pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. The world won't wait for you to catch up. It's moving fast, and only those who are adaptable, who are willing to break free from their past, will rise to the top. Don't let outdated beliefs and fears keep you chained to a life of mediocrity. Step into your power. Become the mentality monster you were always meant to be, and watch how the world bends to your will. Your future is waiting, and it's time to claim it. Are you ready to rise?